First step is you go to a positive memory where the person deliberately reconnects with the memory and stirs up appreciation.
The Lord brought me to a sweet memory that He's brought me to many times. Basically, it's within a worship service at the church that I attend. With my two youngest daughters, you know that I have a number of children, and this is a time that that I remember clearly with having my 2-year-old daughter in one arm and my 5-year-old daughter in the other, and just being there in that place, sensing just clearly the Lord's presence and goodness, and it's just a place where I just feel so thankful and grateful and appreciative of His blessing me with children and blessing me with His presence right there.
In this memory of your goodness and your presence and Ian being able to sense your presence, we just thank you for the truth that you were there then, and you do this thing where you can be in memories. We ask that you would come alive in that place. If in this context, you would help Ian to perceive your living presence, that he would be able to reconnect with you in a living, interactive way in this memory.
It's a really good place to be. Yeah.
And it feels like you're sensing his living presence, not just a photo picture that's still, but it feels like in that memory place you're experiencing his living presence.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Just yeah, exactly how I felt it, you know, and I just feel right there with him, alive, and he's real.
Amen. So at this point, I basically let Jesus start driving. So Lord, we just ask that you would guide us to be a part of your plan for Ian. And then your job, Ian, is just to focus on the Lord and report whatever happens.
Okay. I've been kind of feeling a bit maybe triggered, wondering if I have what it takes to do the Immanuel approach, if I'm smart enough, if I've read enough, if I've remembered enough, if I've been able to be enough, basically, you know, to do this. I'm not going to do it right. I'm not going to screw it up. I'm going to, you know, that.
Can you still perceive Jesus there in the worship memory with your girls?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Good. So you just focus on him, and we say, what about this, Lord?
You know, memories come to mind about being, I want to say 5 or 6, and my dad is kind of hovering over me while I'm coloring, and this coloring experience is it's actually a requirement. Like, apparently I was given a task of coloring within the lines, because I was not a person who colored within the lines as a 5 or 6-year-old, and my parents got told. So my dad wanted me to do some coloring, you know, in his presence, to make sure that I could color, in the lines. In the lines, exactly. Yeah. I'm just perceiving kind of this intimidating presence of my father, just kind of coming around behind me and just kind of hovering over me, and I'm kind of feeling inadequate and small, and I guess what's happened is it's myself as a 6-year-old is like I can perceiving the focus has changed, and I've taken my focus off of my Father, and now I've looked, who's right beside me there, and I perceive the Lord right there beside me.
Oh. So your job is to just focus on Jesus and just ask Him for help.
Yeah. That's interesting that in just right there, the Lord's just put His arm around me, you know, and I felt lighter, and I felt the hovering kind of presence of my dad kind of lift away. Just as you were praying there, I was looking down on my page and my coloring. Of course, I tried so hard to color within the lines, and the Lord kind of grabbed a crayon there with me, and kind of actually my hand was in the crayon, and He moved my hand outside the lines, you know, kind of implying that that's okay. It's okay to color outside the lines, you know. That's all right. Lord knew that I put a sense of like somehow I was bad, or I was, I was inadequate because I was calling outside the lines, and Lord's kind of just saying, no, that's not it. That's not true. No. Just knelt right down beside me, and just face to face. And I hear Him say, you are enough.
Huh. One of the ways to gain confidence in the Lord being real, and also to discern when it's really the Lord and when it's just wishful thinking, is you test the fruit. So we're going to do that a little bit right here. I'm going to poke on it and see if anything feels different. Okay, so what's a good trigger for that? Like, 40 people showing up for that group thing for the first time, or?
Yeah, it would be.
Okay. So in 2 weeks, less than 2 weeks, 40 people could show up.
Yeah.
So picture that, see whether you can find any of that inadequate, I'm not enough.
Yeah. I mean, I can't get anything at this point in terms of a trigger. Like I'm feeling like I'm enough.
Yeah. So clients, what about, don't you have some difficult clients that you've had trouble with, and you feel like they're still stuck and you haven't been able to troubleshoot that?
Yeah.
So I mean, if you were enough, you'd be able to figure that out. I mean, obviously it's something you're not doing, or you're doing wrong, or not having enough capacity, or
Yeah, I think I'm not feeling that. I'm feeling like the Lord is, giving me all that I need.
We had mentioned a couple potential triggers. One was you were going to do a seminar in March. It was still in the future. You were going to do the seminar thing, which now is a few months in the past.
Yeah.
So at any point in the seminar where you felt, I'm not enough, I'm not adequate, I won't be able to do it, any of those negative thoughts come forward and feel true or problematic during the seminar?
No, and I attribute that, of course, to having my connection with the Lord present and vivid throughout the experience. And the second part of that was my individual sessions with certain more challenging clients, and I would say again it's not come up in the sense that those negative thoughts weren't there, because I'm intentionally connecting and staying connected with Jesus throughout each of the sessions. So again, the idea of I'm not enough, I'm not doing right, it doesn't really come into my conscious thought. It's not there, which is really great. I've been perceiving the Lord's presence throughout our conversation.
Oh, right here.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
that's
right,
cool.
very, right throughout. And going back to the memory, perceiving the Lord's presence in the image. But what was interesting was that, there's been almost a physical sensation of pressure in my shoulders here, where there wasn't before, and it completely matches the image of the Lord having His arm around me at the table amongst the crayons and the
So you
coloring
can kind of
sheets.
feel His arm around you.
Yeah, it's wonderful. Yeah,